Okay. June 22, paper 1, variant 1. ماشي. A lump of modern clay is moved from a small measuring cylinder to a large measuring cylinder that has twice the diameter. By how much does the reading in the large cylinder go up? When I remove the measuring cylinder, okay, when I remove the lump of clay, the measuring cylinder goes down by 20. طيب, by how much does the large cylinder go up?
20 برضه.
20 برضو, yes. 20 برضو. ليه? It's the same volume. هنا if I will decrease 20 centimeters cubed, يبقى this will increase 20 centimeters cubed. ماشي. The speed time graph for a train is shown. Which regions is the train moving?
B.
ها. Q, R, and S. صح. Q, R, and S. P, it is at rest. صح. حلو. ماشي. هنا I have a train traveling at 40 meters per second, and it takes 2 seconds to pass a man. What is the length of the train? What is the length of the train?
80.
طبعا احنا we can use the speed equals distance over time, so distance equals speed times time. The speed is 40 meters per second times the time 8 time 2 seconds, يبقى it will be 80 meters, yes. Spring balance operates by compression over spring. It has been calibrated on Earth in grams. A beam balance operates by balancing standard masses against an unknown mass to be measured. The same unknown mass is measured with each balance on Earth and on Moon. The same unknown mass is measured with each balance on Earth and on the Moon. The gravitational field strength on Earth is greater than the Moon. How would the measurements compare with those on the Moon? The spring balance and the beam balance. How would they compare on the Moon? Hmm. How would
إن
they? Hmm?
السبرينج يبقى large.
B.
السبرينج.
هتبقى B.
ممكن ممكن بي
طيب. السبرينج will be larger on Earth than on Moon, صح. Yes, it will be larger on Earth than on Moon. ليه؟ علشان on the Moon it has a weaker gravitation force. صح. أو on Earth it has a greater gravitation force. صح. يبقى these are correct. What about the beam balance? يعني إيه beam balance يا شباب؟ he said a beam balance is balancing يبقى a mass, okay, against the unknown mass. Okay, يعني I have two masses which will be balanced out. On Earth and on Moon, should they be different or should they be the same?
The same.
Yes, they must be the same. They have to be the same. So, but definitely it is B. Okay, the beam balance does not differ from the Earth or to the Moon. Right? It's the same mass. Well, a measuring cylinder contains 30 centimeters cubed of liquid. Initially, it has 30 centimeters cubed of liquid. Some more of the liquid, okay, is added until it reaches the 50 centimeters cubed. The reading on the balance increases by 30 grams. What is the density of the liquid?
1.5.
1.5. طب يعني ايه هي الستبس؟
هنعمل
Mass over
density
volume.
equal mass over volume.
طيب density equals mass over volume. ايه هو الماس؟
30
30.
30.
Yes, it increased by 30. What is the volume?
50
50.
Hmm?
50
لا. The volume
20.
is 20. ليه? Why is it 20? It's 50
هعبوا 20 سمايك عشان تفتح.
minus 20. يبقى 30 over 20. خلي بالكوا 30 over ايه؟ 20. طب again, why did you do that? The density of the liquid, mass of volume, the mass added, okay, the mass that increases over the volume that increases, which was initially it was 30, it became 50. But the volume that increased هنا كان كام? The volume that increased was 20 centimeters cubed, and the mass of this 20 centimeters cubed is 30 grams. خلاص. يبقى 30 divided by 20 is 1.5 grams per centimeters cubed. Which pieces of apparatus are the most appropriate for an experiment to plot an extension load graph of the spring?
ايه
ايه
صح؟ طبعا احنا we don't need a stopwatch ولا light gate ولا stop خلاص. تمام. A beam is pivoted at one end. The beam weighs 6 newtons and the weight acts at a distance 40 centimeters from the pivot. A force of 4 newtons is applied. Okay, 4 newtons is applied to balance the beam horizontally. Where should this 4 Newton force be? Hmm. Where should we add this 4 Newton force يا جماعة?
upwards.
دي
It
upwards
should be
on the right.
upwards. It should be upwards صح. Okay, شباب, if the force is downwards, it will not help. خلاص. If it was downwards, it would never help. Because this is wrong. It cannot be downwards. It has to be upwards. طيب, if it is upwards and to the left هنا, لا, it cannot be to the left. Why can't it be to the left? Because you need the force to be, ما هو the force is now only 4 newtons. So you need to increase the distance. You need to, ايه يا شباب? You must increase the distance. So the distance has to increase since the force is less. When the force is less 4 newtons, يبقى I have to increase the distance so that the moment will be the same. يبقى vertically upwards and to the right of x, okay? Because I increased the distance, and the distance مثلا should be 60 centimeters. So when I multiply 4 times 60, it should be equal to 40 times 6. Okay? هنا 240 and هنا 240. ماشي. Which object is moving at a constant speed?
C.
طبعا C.
C.
Upward forces are equal to the downward forces. Yes. A mass hangs vertically from a spring. Which energies? Okay, the spring is raised to a point P and then is released. The mass oscillates repeatedly between points P and Q. Keeps on oscillating. Which energies alternately increase and decrease throughout these oscillations?
B.
Hmm?
A.
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 ثانية ايه إيه.
GPE, yes. Kinetic energy, yes. And elastic. هنا C, gravitation, kinetic, and internal energy. لا, the total internal energy actually remains constant. Total internal energy remains constant. For gravitation potential energy increases and decreases, kinetic energy increases and decreases, and elastic also increases and decreases. ماشي. What is the work done? Work done equals,
ايه
force
force and
multiplied
resistance.
distance.
Force and resistance.
okay, area of the base. What is the pressure? How can I calculate the pressure?
Force over area.
يلا, pressure equals force over area. يلا, what's the force and what's the area?
92 0.23.
92 divided by 0.23.
العكس.
طيب, يعني calculate كده 92 divided by 0.23.
هتطلع 400.
Which is wrong. ليه? Why is it wrong?
أعتقد يعني المفروض تبقى العكس.
لا,
هو في حاجة في الكيلو جرام مثلا ولا أنا بهبد؟
هو mass. Is this the force?
لا.
Is mass a force? لا. How can I find the force? Weight equals mg. 92 times
9.8.
9.8. يبقى 92 times 9.8 divided
4000.
by 0.23 would be 4,000. Okay. Yep. On what does the pressure X depend on? Pressure at X, what does it depend on?
A.
A.
Definitely the depth of the water. صح? Different states of matter. Which properties are correct for liquids? Hmm. Which properties are correct for liquids? Hmm.
1, 2, 8.
One is correct. They
H.
cannot be compressed. They can flow. Yes. They always completely fill the container. لا, that's a gas. يبقى only 1 and 2. 2 thermometers cancelled. يلا 14 is cancelled. 15. يلا 15. Liquid metal and solid metal when heated at constant pressure. What happens يا شباب to the volumes of liquid metal and solid metal when they get heated?
Increase.
الاتنين.
Increase.
صح, both of them increase. Correct. 16 is cancelled. يلا 17. What's the name of the effect by which the water forms?
Session.
Condensation, صح. Condensation, correct. Temperature at P and the temperature at Q. Sorry, the temperature at P and the density at P. ركزوا. The temperature at P and the density at P.
هتبقى سي.
The temperature
Okay.
هنا is lower. Correct. Temperature is lower. The density, it has to be higher. Why does it have to be higher? عشان it moves downwards. يبقى whenever the liquid moves downwards, the density increases. Okay. And why does the density increase? Because the temperature is less. Temperature is less. And the volume is also less. ماشي. The outside of one or two identical shiny metal containers is painted dull black. The containers are filled with equal masses of hot water. Why does the dull black container cool more quickly?
بقى بي
Hmm.
هي كده كده بلاك سيرفيس هو المفروض تبقى راديشن.
Hmm. صح. Black surfaces are better emitters. طب هو is it a conductor؟ لا أنا I don't care about conduction. Reflection لا هو black surface is not a better reflector. Worse absorbers لا هما they are better absorbers and in this case I have to say better emitters. Why? Because they lose energy. Okay. They cool more quickly. Whenever they cool more quickly, then they are called emitters. They are giving off energy or giving off infrared radiation. يلا, what's the amplitude and what's the wavelength? Amplitude كام wavelength كام؟
والامبليتيود 1.
amplitude 1 صح. wavelength
والويفلنس
8.
8.
0.
8 صح. 1 and 8. ازاي 8 اهو it started at 0 and didn't at 8. 8. This is the wavelength. Girl is sitting on a rock and sea looking at passing waves. She notices that 5 complete waves pass in 20 seconds. What's the frequency? يلا يا شباب, what's the frequency?
هتبقى A.
A.
How do I calculate the frequency? يلا, frequency equals
اللي هو النمبر اوف ويفز divided السكندز.
divided by time. صح. The number of waves is 5 divided by time, which is 20. 5 divided by 20 is 0.25 hertz. A card is placed in front of a plane mirror so that its label is facing the mirror as shown. How does the image of the label formed by the mirror appear to the observer?
سي.
C.
C.
طبعا it is
C.
laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means the left will become right and the right will become left. صح. Laterally inverted. In which position should the object be placed in order for the real image to be produced to become smaller than the object? I need the image to be smaller.
A.
Whenever I increase يا جماعة, whenever you increase the distance, it becomes smaller. طب when I decrease the distance it becomes ايه larger. طب what about C? No image أصلا. Are you required to know C? لا, no image. You're not required to know what will happen in C. طب what about D? It will become a virtual image. D will become حاجة اسمها ايه virtual image. Which part of the electromagnetic spectrum is used in the remote controller?
ايه.
طبعا infrared waves. Which statement correctly compares radio and X-rays?
B.
B.
طبعا longer wavelength but same speed. Point X is near to a bar magnet as shown. Which arrow indicates the direction of the magnetic field of the bar
دي
magnet at point X?
B.
دي
دي صح. ايه ده؟ اشمعنى دي؟ شايف if I draw a magnetic field line this way, these are the arrows صح. These arrow. Okay. So basically at this point in it's almost bending towards it's bending towards the south pole which is D. Okay. ماشي. هنا I have a DC power supply on and DC power supply off. She repeats the experiment using cores of 8 different materials. The results are shown. Which core is made out of soft iron? Which core is made out of soft iron?
تالي دي.
اشمعنى؟ Why D?
مش عارف، جت
Hmm.
معايا كده.
Why D يا جماعة؟ Why not A مثلا ولا B ولا C? Any ideas? طيب D is correct. Why? Because soft iron eventually يعني when the DC power supply is on, the DC power supply is on, the iron will become a magnet and it will attract uh, their iron pins. When it is switched off, what happens to the magnetic field? خلاص it's off. No magnetic field is induced in the iron bar. It will lose its magnetism. It will lose its magnetism. خلاص. That's the whole point of a temporary magnet. It becomes zero. It will not attract any iron bars, any iron pins towards it. خلاص. That's it. Okay. حلو. ماشي. I have a plastic rod and a metal sphere. Okay. The plastic rod is moved close to the metal sphere. Plastic rod is moved close to the metal sphere. It does not touch the metal sphere, it just moves close to the metal sphere. What will happen to the metal sphere? Hmm.
B.
ايه.
The metal sphere will get attracted. Yes, the
B.
metal sphere will get attracted. Yes, they both attract. Will the state of the sphere change? Will it become positively charged or negatively charged? لا.
لا.
It will remain unchanged or uncharged. Which of these items is the electromotive force of the battery?
ايه.
ها طبعا 12 volts. Definitely. The voltage is the electromotive force. Yeah, next question. What is the correct combination of meters to determine the resistance of Z? Hmm.
سي.
C.
Ah. X has to be a voltmeter and Y has to be an ammeter. Yes, صح. What is this electrical component?
سي.
semester.
ماشي, it's a thermistor صح. What's the advantage of connecting lamps in parallel in a lighting circuit?
بي.
Why do I connect them in parallel? ها ما أنا
بي.
If one breaks, the remaining lamps stay lit. صح, this is one of the advantages. The other advantages are ايه بقى احنا we know ان they all receive the same voltage and I can switch on and off each lamp independently. Okay. Which lamps are the brightest?
ايه
ايه.
Hmm. P is the brightest. حلو. ليه؟
عشان هي لوحدها بتاعتها قصدي
يعني
سيريز مش بارل.
hmm.
وكمان
ايه اشمعنى P؟ انا I need a better answer.
عشان هي أول بلب.
لا. اوكي.
عشان حاجة.
علشان هي مش متوصلة جنب، يعني جنب يعني لمب تانيين، هي الوحيدة بتاخد الفولت كل لحظة.
طيب.
أيوة ثانية عشان الإلكترونز مش هيوصل لها سيباريت.
لا 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 الكلام ده كله غلط. شو P will be the brightest. Why? Because it has the highest voltage. Why does it have the highest voltage? Because it has the highest resistance. طب these are two lamps in parallel. يبقى the resistance will decrease and the voltage will decrease. طب these are three lamps in parallel, but the resistance will decrease even more and the voltage will decrease even more. And the voltage has to do with the brightness, with the brightness. As the voltage increases, the brightness also increases. Okay, as the voltage increases, the brightness also increases. Why is a fuse used in an electrical circuit? Hmm.
بي.
control
Hmm?
prevent the current becoming too large.
To prevent the current from becoming too large. صح. طيب. Which transformer can change 240 AC to 15 AC? 240 AC input to 15 AC output. What should we do? Hmm. What should we do? Hmm. What's the equation يا جماعة? What is the equation we
في
use?
اوفر ان بي وفي اس اوفر ان اس.
It's Vs over Ns. طيب. هنا I have Vp, which is 240, and I have Vs, which is 15. I need Vs, I need Np and Ns. I will try it out. خلاص, just try it out. يعني I can try مثلا 840. I can نجرب كده 840. If they become, oh, if they are the same number, يبقى okay. 240 over 800. Is it equal to 15 over 40? If you calculate it on the calculator هتلاقوا لا, it's not equal.
لا.
Okay. هنجرب تاني. Okay. ال 240 over 1000 15 over 25.
لا.
لا.
Okay. برضو 240 over 2400 and 15 over 15, which is wrong. Definitely, it's wrong. Okay. The only one which is correct, 240 over 1200 equals
أيوة هي دي
15 over 75. If you
دي.
calculate this ratio on the calculator, it will give you the same number as this ratio. خلاص. It will definitely give you the same number. ماشي, يبقى it is D. Which pattern shows the magnetic field due to the current in the wire?
بي.
Hmm?
بي.
B. طيب. ليه مش C؟ ليه مش D؟
لان هو
عشان
كده كرنت نازل من فوق لتحت.
عشان دي ماشية في one direction بس.
طب ما C is moving in one direction.
أنا بتكلم على دي.
ماشي, D is wrong. Okay. D is wrong.
والسي المفروض إيه كانت ليها رول بس أنا مش فاكر اسمها.
Hmm.
اللي هي بتاعت الفينجر دي.
يبقى اسمها يا شباب right hand rule.
أيوة هي دي.
right hand rule grip. This is moving out of the page. So it's moving out of the page. We use the right hand rule grip, which moves out of the page. And if you don't know how to use it, we can just memorize it. When it's outside the page, when it's outside the page, it's anti-clockwise. Okay? When it's outside the page, it's anti-clockwise. When it's into the page, it's clockwise, as C. يبقى الانتي-clockwise هنا is B. If it was into the page, we can just memorize it. It will be clockwise. Out of the page, anti-clockwise. بس. It's as simple as that. ماشي. A current carrying coil in a magnetic field experiences a turning effect. Current carrying coil experiences a turning effect. 3 suggestions are given. Increase the number of coils. دلوقتي I need to increase the turning effect. Can I increase the number of coils? Can I increase the current? Can I increase the strength of the magnetic field? Which of these are correct? Hmm.
كلهم.
Okay. All of them are correct, yes. I need to increase the number of coils, I need to increase the current, and I need to increase the magnetic field. صح. A model of an atom consists of small particles orbiting the central nucleus. Huh. Where is the positive charge in an atom? Where is the
B.
positive charge in an atom?
B.
In the nucleus. The positive charge is the what are the positive charge يا جماعة؟ هما protons. Okay, protons are definitely inside the nucleus. A radioactive source has a half-life of 0.5 hours. A detector near the source shows a reading of 6,000 counts per minute. What's the reading after 1.5 hours? What's the reading after 1.5 hours? What should I do? Very simple steps. The same steps we've been doing for a long time. Half-life. Whenever I have a half-life, what should I do? Time divided by the half-life. 1.5 over 0.5, which would give me 3 half-lives. What do I mean by 3 half-lives? And I will divide by 2. How many times? 3 times. What will I divide by 2 3 times? 6,000 divided by 2. 3,000 divided by 2. 1,500 divided by 2. 750. Okay. But which statement about the radioactive decay is correct? Which statement about the radioactive decay is correct? It cannot be predicted when a particular nucleus will decay. صح. Okay. Random. we call it a random decay. It's always random يا جماعة. You cannot predict when a nucleus will decay, which nucleus decay. You cannot predict at all. Okay.